Okay, I'm going to assume that we're kind of live streaming already. So I'm going to go ahead and start with today. We have a big day actually today, um, because I'm going to be covering two nakshatras. Because one, I'm not going to be covering the nakshatras tomorrow, but the moon, the way that it's transiting, that later today we're going to be in Hasta, and right now we're in Uttara Falguni. And I think we hit, well, not think, but we hit Uttara Falguni Nakshatra actually yesterday, depending on where you were at, before we even went to bed. So I'm going to cover two today, but this is going to be a good theme, because we're doing a transition in Uttara Falguni from it's all about me, what makes me happy, look at me shine. This is really a Leo type of theme, where we're looking for that inner happiness, spending it with family and children. And I tell you what, yesterday, as we were coming from Maga and going into Purva Falguni, and these nakshatras really, they flow really nice together. But I know for some of us, maybe we struggled a little bit with our relationships. And I know that we were hearing probably from our children, and maybe it wasn't the most pleasant of situations. But these themes are going to play out in your life. Children are going to be contacting you, good or bad, it doesn't matter. Joyful or hurtful, it doesn't matter. These themes are going to be playing out in your life. It's just how they play out is really dependent upon your own personal chart and what other factors or planets, if you will, that are sitting or aspecting these nakshatras, and the current transits that are playing. So I know for in my own life, you guys, that I was contacted and was talking with my own children, and I love them so much. And it wasn't all pleasant. I'll let you know right now. Us astrologers or anybody who's out in the public eye and we're speaking, a lot of us are speaking from personal experience. And we've been through it. We've been hurt. We know the sorrow, as well as we also have experienced the joy and the happiness. So I'm sitting up here, and when I'm talking with you guys, which is new to me, I'm not used to being on camera and talking. I'm giving you guys a viewpoint from what I have personally experienced, what I know other people have personally experienced from these nakshatras. I'm not just talking from a book, okay? These are things that I know that I personally have experienced within these nakshatras. And I think that experience and that awareness holds a lot of value, and we can actually connect better with the people that we are serving and or talking with or who are listening to us. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is connect on a personal level with personal experience, and not be so much of coming from an authoritative, I'm a master in astrology. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to get where you guys can predict an event that's happening in your life. It's how do we live in the present moment and today that's going to help us in our life to better it, so that we don't have to hurt and be in a position of sorrow tomorrow. And that's really what it's about. How do we heal ourselves today? How do we make it through when we are delivered hurtful messages, or something that may put us a little bit into scare mode? How do we work with the energies today to get through this so we can make a better situation for tomorrow? That's what this is all about. So let's move right into Uttara Falguni. And Uttara Falguni, now it in the Vedic system, but you guys listen, whether you're tropical or Vedic, it doesn't matter. The point where the moon is in the sky right now, or when I'm talking about these fixed nakshatras, go beyond the zodiac, okay? I am talking about the fixed stars in the sky. So whether you're Vedic or tropical, these are the themes that's going to play out in your life. So our moon went in Uttara Falguni from the Purava Falguni, and remember that Venus is all is the controller or associated, excuse me, with the theme of Purava Falguni, which she's looking for happiness and joy. And whether we had bad aspects or good aspects, we could have received the opposite of happiness and joy. Okay, so remember, there's lightness and darkness. So if Venus is looking for happiness in Purva Falguni and happiness with partnerships, depending upon the aspects and your personal chart, you could have received the opposite. You could have been looking for a divorce or fighting with your partner, right? Feeling a lack of happiness. So either or can happen with these nakshatras. So when I give you one, look for the opposite also. That could happen in your life or anywhere in between. But these are just the themes that are going to play out. Now, with the Uttara Falguni, this is really a great nakshatra that goes from ego kind of centric confidence, courage, really that sun. It's about I'm looking for that happiness because the first two padas, I believe, or the first pada is in the Leo side, the sun side, if you will. Um, that is still wanting to shine forth, ourself to shine forth. And it's going into a business and service district, probably is the incorrect word for that, but service mode, right? So these guys are going to be really good about contracts, really shining in that business aspect of being that leader and very confident in business negotiations, contracts, writing, and what you art. So anything that they can really shine, being confident and courageous, that's that Leo side. But now the latter half of this nakshatra now is going into what we call Virgo, the Mercury side. So Mercury now is looking for, okay, yeah, so you're wanting to shine and be confident and look at you. How do you apply that to service? What is your skills? What are you giving to the world? What is your everyday mundane work that you're bringing out to service? So it's kind of, you're shifting from it's all about me and to, oh, what am I doing with what I learned? What am I doing with my education? You know, because fifth house Leo and these particular nakshatras in the Vedic system, of course, but again, the same type of theme will play out in the tropical system. But we're looking at, you know, how we are with social groups, romance, partnerships, our education, you know, like high school, college. And now, what are we doing with all of this? How are we transforming that into service, into our everyday work and service, our skills that we're going to bring out to the public, right? Because it can't, our whole life cannot just be about us. And this could be a very humbling transition because then we're having that chance of letting go of that ego. And again, it's our choice. Um, and if we don't let go, though, of our ego and take that confidence and that education and work it into some type of skill, it could be a really lonely life. Because really, we need to evolve outside of ourselves and look at you know, how we're living and how we're serving other people. And Uttara Falguni is great because it's still, again, you're writing contracts. It's all about unions and being creative because, you know, this nakshatra, the sun is associated with it. It's bringing in our confidence and our courage out into our service, our skills, and work on the mundane level for everyday life. So when even if somebody has a prominent planet in Uttara Falguni on the Virgo or Mercury side, we can still be a little bit prideful And we're going to bring about events that is going to knock us off our kilter, if you will. It's going to knock us off our ego, where it's going to create an event where we have a choice really to become more humbled and more of service. And I know this just hit me really strong yesterday, where it's leaving me very, very vulnerable. A certain event happened yesterday in my own life during the moon being in Uttara Falguni, where, I'm feeling confident. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. But this event has brought up some hurt where I realize that I don't have control over everything that's happening in or outside my own personal world. And and I'm reaching out for help and assistance in a certain situation with somebody I love very, very much. And it's very humbling and it's leaving me in such a vulnerable position. But you know what? The moon's transiting through these nakshatras, and we have that Gadanta going on. You know what? This is what we live in. This is the world we live in. Not everything is perfect. And if you're living a spiritual life, that's beautiful. But we still need to be of service for those who are in need and help. This is what we're here for. This is our purpose, you guys. If anybody is ever wondering, what is your purpose? It is to serve. It's to serve your children. It's to serve other people. Okay. So it's to serve your spouse. We're here to serve. That's our service. That's our purpose in life. How we go about do it, now that can be a little bit more difficult. How do we want to serve the world? But really looking at Uttara and Hasta and Chitra, all about that service, this is all about humbling ourselves and learning what we are good at, what kind of experiences we have, what kind of knowledge and education we have from our earlier childhood and growing up and putting that to work for others. So the sixth house is all about service, you guys. That's our purpose. It is service. So let's find out our skills and what we're good at to give to the world. So really look at your Mercury. Mercury will tell you a lot about your sixth house, no matter what rising sign that you're in. Some of the other themes on Uttara Falguni, again, it's all about healing, charity, and charitable events, and serving the world. Another place themes that will play out is either it's going to be prosperity through contracts or marriage. Now, remember, depending on some of your aspects, it may go the opposite way for you. So you may find that the contracts and marriages wasn't so prosperous, and or maybe something's had to be broken. So it can be very humbling and vulnerable. A lot of karma. Uttara Falguni will bring about a lot of karma in your life. So be really careful about the plants and the seeds that you're planting, the seeds that you're planting in your life. When we're working on the Leo side, it really is about courage and a sense of honor, but it's about bringing that courage and confidence and that sense of honor into your work, into your service. So it's being humble is not about being not courageous, and it's not about losing your sense of honor. It's how can you be confident and courageous and still serve and still be vulnerable. So it's both ways. And we can, I tell you what, being a leader, being out in public, it's not about not being tainted with negative things that happen in this world or what we conceive as negative. It really is, if you're going to be a leader, then I really encourage you to take that courage and go out and feed somebody who's hungry. If somebody is on drugs, what are you doing to help them? Are you speaking with them? Are you trying to give them, or are you giving them words of encouragement? What are you doing to help your children? It's not about being better than. It's about having that enough confidence, enough courage to go meet them where they're at and help them. Anybody in this world. Again, it is about service. Managing people, especially people with planets on the Leo side, on the sun side of this nakshatra, they're going to be great leaders and great managers. On the Virgo side, you're going to find a lot more people that kind of take on the theme of like Mother Teresa, right? About going out and feeding the hungry, feeding the poor, helping the drug addicts, helping those that other people don't even want to look at. You know, what are you good at and how can you serve people? It's not just about serving the people that are in your circle because they make you feel good. All right. We need to look at really where our surface needs to go. Who is in need? Who is in the most need? Get yourself dirty. It's not about being up above and living on your pedestal. Okay. It is about getting out there, making yourself vulnerable, letting go of your ego, having that courage to let it go and go out and serve somebody who really needs your help. And maybe they are that homeless person on the street. Maybe is that abused woman or that prostitute that nobody wants to touch. Those are the people who need to be served. Moving on, spiritualities. Virgos make great writers. They're great they write up really good contracts. Again, they're really good about negotiating, but they really get into the finer details of the art and the contracts and the writing. So you might have found themes, though, again, that you're going to be working through as far as contracts and of service in this world. Kindness, friendships, family, and marriage is really what this energy is all about, the good or bad, you guys. I know that sometimes we can experience the worst in these nakshatras or these energies or the best, but we still have to rise up and work through those in our life. Some of the traits, just really be careful that either you can exhibit or other people can, is traits of like being self-absorbed, being inconsiderate, very critical, bossy, immoral. This energy can also bring about very much a selfish and demanding type of events or people in your life. Just for a little while, the moon's only transiting through this for 24 hours and then it's out. So also on this codependency. Yeah, codependency is huge for this nakshatra. And being happy in relationships. This nakshatra really will give you a craving of wanting to be with somebody, good or bad. And we sometimes will lose our judgment because that craving can get so strong. We'll lose our judgment on who we pick to be with and end up in some really negative relationships. And I've got personal experience with that myself. I've learned my lesson, for heaven's sakes. So be really careful who we choose as being a partner and who we want to be with. But I'm sure that we've seen a lot of themes in people around us with their relationships, dating, and trying to pick a partner. But that earning is going to be there because we don't want to be alone in this world. And so if you're single or, even, if you're in a marriage and you're feeling lonely, you're going to really try to seek out a partner or a relationship that to fulfill that loneliness, because we haven't did our inner work, and sometimes it may not turn out so well as we think. But as we are maturing during these times, We are going to recognize our limitations, and it is really about maturing our soul. And being mature soul is really about serving others, but also recognizing that even through our service, there's only so much we can do, that somebody else has to make choices for themselves. So you can give them assistance as much as you can and are able to and willing to, but the other person that you're serving also must do their part. So it's definitely recognizing our limitations in the world. And so I also would like to get into Hasta. So I was just going to think, or I'm sorry, not think. I'm just kind of looking through my notes to see if there's anything else that we want to address with this. This nakshatra also, of course, is a fixed nakshatra. It's sun, and the reason why I call it fixed is because the sun is associated with this particular nakshatra. So whatever we sow is going to be a long term. So be careful what seeds that we're sowing in here. Are we sowing a good or negative? So, and again, when we sow seeds, it comes from our thoughts, our actions, and desires. I've learned this the hard way, but this is a perfect transition right into Hasta nakshatra, because as we're sowing our seeds, then it's all about manifestation. And Hasta is about manifestation. Hasta now is ruled by the moon. And our moon is our state of mind. It's when we first put those beliefs into action. So we're going from the state of mind into action, okay? Or thoughts into action. Hasta is all about our hands. So we know that in this nakshatra, whatever we do, it's going to be with our hands, whether it's sowing seeds. You see a lot of people who are farmers from here, or working on making statues, definitely art again, but anything that's working with your hands. A lot of construction workers, boxers, so because they work with their hands, right? But here's the amazing thing about this nakshatra is that when we are thinking about something, we are truly manifesting it and bringing it to life, bringing it into something that's tangible and workable in this nakshatra, in this type of energy. So really today, look at what you're manifesting. What are you doing with your hands in actually creating and manifesting? Whether you're a construction worker, maybe you're in the food service industry, maybe you are out feeding the needy, maybe you're in some type of sport and you're working, you're boxing, if you will. But also, what's really good about this, when we are manifesting, when we're actually putting out the manifestation of this energy, we're going to be working through obstacles and challenges and competition. Oh my goodness, attorneys are great in this nakshatra. Competition, sixth house is all about competing. We see a lot of court cases, if you will, and divorces will come from the sixth house theme. So, but this is all about, in order for us to manifest, we must be diligent in going through all the obstacles, cleaning them up, and we have to have a strong state of mind. Just like baking a cake, you have to put all the ingredients in a bowl. Yes, and so you kind of have to have that skill set of knowing what ingredients needs to go into that bowl. Mercury logic, right? But then you have to beat the dough or beat the batter, right? And then you have to form it. And remember, you're working with your hands with this. You form it, you put it in the pan. Then what do? You bake it. you have to get it heated up and hot. And so you have to go through several steps to actually bring it out into something that is tangible and workable and is usable out in the world. And that's what Hasta is all about. Also, I think it's a really good time and energy today, you guys, is look at what you're manifesting, look at your thoughts, because this is a great nakshatra that if you have a stable mind, a strong mind, you literally will be manifesting your thoughts in this energy. So look at what is coming about today and what you are manifesting today. It might be been a special project that you're working on and you worked through all the fine details, and it's actually coming out and manifesting itself today in your hands, where it's tangible and you can hold it into your hands. So also look for those themes in your life. I think something great will happen for many people in this life, and they're going to come out with a wonderful manifestation on something that they've been working on. But this is a great nakshatra for that. Let me just quickly, I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time, but also in this energy is all about merging. And so you'll see a lot of business people who merge businesses together are coming from this nakshatra. Great business nakshatra, right? Holding things together. So you're going to see people or leaders come from this nakshatra. It's about not dividing, but or it could be, depending on, of course, the aspects, where you can tear companies apart. You can tear communities apart, or you can bind them and hold them together. Again, this is all about the hands. What are you tearing apart, or what are you putting together? And sometimes we need to tear things apart. Great nakshatra, great energy. So it's all about being creative and having skill with your hands, working with your hands. This nakshatra is a great nakshatra if you, especially if you want to go see comedians. Hasta loves to laugh. They love laughter. They love a sense of humor, and they love to make people laugh. So you'll see a lot of comedians, or you'll be attracted to go and watch comedians when the energy is in this nakshatra today. So look for those themes. Um, Let me see. Hasta Nakshatra stands for conquest, knowledge, wisdom, and control. A lot of people who've got beautiful musical talents have prominent planets in this nakshatra, but don't be surprised if you want to go and listen to music today. Um, you might be swayed a little bit more heavily. Like, it's not like we don't like to listen to music every day, but you'll notice that on some days it's more prominent than other days. We probably will be either stagnant or not like stagnation today. We want to go out and really do something with our hands. So maybe like, oh, you know what? I need to go plant a plant, right? So we may have that little bit more of that energy today, or we find ourselves not wanting to do much and be more stagnant. Also, on the negative side of this nakshatra, we do find thieves. People who have not musical, magical talents. These magicians are awesome in this nakshatra. They definitely have prominent planets in Hasta, especially if it's Rahu. Rahu in Hasta, yeah, you can get pickpocketing and thieves out of it, but also you can come out with great magical abilities. Our magicians come from this. And let me see here. Natalie Cole has a prominent planet in here. Fidel Castro, powerful, respected. He's very calm and sensible. Again, I already mentioned Natalie Cole. Great athletes, again, come from here, especially boxing. But it's all, again, great athletes come because you have to work through your obstacles. So healers, good counselors, good advisors, come from this nakshatra. Personal coaches, psychiatrists, definitely, but you will see a lot of doctors come from this nakshatra, working with your hands, very skilled. Mercury is all about our skill. So I think that's kind of what I wanted to cover. My last note is, you guys, this is all about our wishes, desires, and passion. Check them today. See what you can plant today and manifest today. Recheck what your desire really is. What are you wishing for? What is your passion? Holding on to that objective, right? And making it real. This is a very, very good energy for manifestation. So my 30 minutes is up. I took a little bit longer today, but I seem to take a little bit longer when on Fridays. Fridays are ruled by Venus. So a little bit more talking, I guess, is called for on Fridays. Have a beautiful day. I know some guys or some of us are having some struggles, and some people's lives are going beautiful. Either or, you guys, keep hope. All right. Not everything is lost. Enjoy your marriages, your partnerships if you can. Just have a really beautiful day. No matter what's happening, just remember that you're alive and you can make a difference. You can change things around at any time that you want to. So keep up your hope, do that inner work, make magic happen in your life and make magic happen in other people's life. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.